Okay, you guys, we are back with another video. There's a new blind item out, and it's about Stefon Diggs. I kid you not. I kid you absolutely not. But before we get into that video, it is game on. I got my rapper chain on, and it's game on. I got my chain on, and it's game on. I got my rapper chain on, and it's game on. I got my chain on, and it's game on. Stefon Diggs gets another woman pregnant, and it's game on. Cardi B still not gonna leave, and it's game on. She's determined to be this man's footstool, and it's game on. Bird Braid Nation. Anywho, guys, on a more serious note, there's a new blind item out, right? Now, this blind item, I'm gonna share it with you on the screen, whether here or here. Now, you guys know that from time to time, the blind items are factual, and there are times when they are not true any at all. So, I want you to take this one with a grain of salt. Now, this blind item is alleging that another woman is pregnant for Stefon Diggs, right? And based on the details in the blind item, it seems as though Stefon Diggs is not owning the child, so as such, they have sent a letter to Stefon Diggs' attorney. Now, you guys know it was just last week that we saw a report that says Cardi B has issued a very harsh warning to Stefon Diggs that if he gets another woman pregnant, since they're now in a committed relationship, it is done so. Now, I believe that article is lying because the truth of the matter is, after that article, we saw a interview of Stefon Diggs. It was after one of his games, and he was being asked some questions, and he's saying, he admits that he wants to do, I think his word was, be a better person to Cardi B, and he said that he must admit that he's a lot to handle. And when he says he's a lot to handle, I believe he's talking about his womanizing ways. Now, in reference to that article that was released last weekend, the article also says that Cardi B acknowledges that Stefon Diggs is a womanizer. So you can't give a womanizer an ultimatum, because if Cardi B has issued a strong warning to him, that's an ultimatum, and you cannot do that to a womanizer. He's gonna have to go through therapy, and he's gonna have to, put in some things in practice and all of that jazz. And it's gonna take a minimum of a year before he changes his ways. So as such, Stefon Diggs is not gonna change overnight for himself. He's not gonna change overnight for Cardi B unless God is involved. So, he's gonna get women pregnant, and we're gonna hear a lot of stories about these women getting pregnant. Cardi B's fans are gonna come and say it's a lie until the pregnancy starts showing and these women give birth, and then there's official reports of the child's name and there's paternity tests, and then these people will realize that we were not making up many of these stories, because that because the guy has a reputation, some of the stories naturally will be false and equally will be true. So as I've said, leave your number. I think he's gonna go for 6 this year. He did 4 to 5 last year, and he's very competitive, so I think he's gonna outrank himself this year, and I think his magic number might be 6. What about you guys? What do you think Stefon Diggs' magic number will be this year? Leave your comment below. While you're at it, do all you need to on this video to support your girl. Peace.